What you saying, ladies and gents? It is your boy Bucket Hat Sam, and we are back again today for another video. Breaking news for my club West Brom, Valerien and oh my word. What you saying, ladies and gents? It is your boy Bucket Hat Sam, and we are back in today for another video. Breaking news has just come out that Valerien Ismael has been sacked by West Bromwich Albion and his assistant. If you're new to the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe before we get into it. It does really help. But where do we start? When Valerien Ismael came in, there was hope, there was a buzz, there was positivity. And his reign at the Albion has been poor. I think we can say now, looking back and reflecting on it, it didn't work out. The system didn't work. The players we have didn't fit to the system. Maybe if we'd got a different type of squad, maybe this would have worked. But there's a lot of things we can highlight in his reign that went wrong. Currently, we're sat fifth in the league and we're slowly dropping down. We are 8 points off Blackburn in second place. It's not a great start. 1 win in 9. It's not good enough, simply not good enough. With the squad we have to make the playoffs at least. And as it's going at the moment, we've got the worst form out of the top 10. And in the new, if you just talk about the new year specifically, if the new year was a league, we would be 20th in the league. The form is simply not good enough. But one thing I want to say, why on earth has it taken this long for him to be sacked? We lost the game on the weekend to Millwall 2-0 on Saturday. It is now Wednesday and he's only just got the sack. Is there a deeper thought to this where the West Bromwich Albion board have left it? So then it's looked like they've been discussing the managerial situation. They don't have to spend money and sign players. I don't know, but I just find it really odd and baffling that it's taken this long. Bearing in mind, Saturday was the game when we lost the game. Surely in this break, this little bit of a break he has, a week, it would have been brilliant to sack a manager and then start interviewing managers throughout the week. Whereas now, it is now Wednesday. Our next game is coming up very soon, and we were going to be managerless. It makes no sense to me. I can't get my head around the thought process of the board here. It does scream quite a West Bromwich Albion thing to do. Our next game is on Wednesday, so we've left ourselves 7 days. If we'd have sat the manager on Saturday, straight after the game, when he probably should have been, when we all knew he was going to be sacked after that game, the new manager would have had literally so long. We've had about 10 days to work with his squad, change the system and implement his ideas and build a new structure to the squad. Whereas now, we've now got 7 days until our next game. We're managerless. And who's going to take over? I don't know. This is what baffles me. This club is ran so poorly. We all knew this was coming. I don't understand why this wasn't done straight away on the Saturday. It would have made sense, but that's the problem. Nothing ever makes sense. It's very odd. And we've gone now through January transfer window, signing one player in Daryl Dike, who's injured. Obviously, I know you can't do anything about that, but we didn't add to the squad. We lost more players than we signed. The squad was thin and weak as it was, and it was tiring. The players weren't playing for the manager, and that's one thing I really hope to see. I'm not a fan of when a player doesn't play for the shirt. Obviously, the players didn't play for Val at the end. By the end, it was extremely poor results. I went to the Preston game and that was awful. Millwall game again, awful. Players weren't playing for the shirt. But the one thing we need now is a serious bounce back. And potentially the only good thing and positive thing I can say about the Valerien Ismael sacking right now is there is still time left in the league. And the fact we're only 8 points off, we could get really good. We could get a really nice run coming together. This is a good time to push on. This is the final third of the season where if teams are going to try and knock on that door for automatics, this is the time. But I think we're too far gone, personally. But weird things have happened in the Championship. Valerien Ismael has been sacked. One thing I was surprised, I didn't think he was going to get sacked in the fact that we handed it already and he was on a 4-year contract, which has meant he's probably not the biggest payout because he probably wasn't on a huge wage, but it's still a payout that West Brom would have had to have made, which, as we've seen in January, we don't really spend much money as a club. So it is quite surprising, but I would worry for the next manager, the strength and depth of the squad. It's going to be interesting. Currently, the only name being mentioned is Tony Mowbray, but that's not going to be until the summer because he's still contracted for another 6 months at Blackburn. And he's not going to leave Blackburn now, who are 8 points clear of us, second in the league, is he? And then take the job here. Makes no sense. But it's going to be very interesting to see how this all unfolds. We've got Sheffield United, and we've got some really difficult run coming up, so we desperately need to get a manager in ASAP. Desperately. If you look at our run now, we have got Sheffield United, then we've got Blackburn, then Luton, Middlesbrough, Swansea, Hull, Huddersfield. We've got some big games there. Birmingham, Bournemouth, Stoke, Blackpool. We've still got some big teams to play, and all these big games are at home. Huddersfield at home, Fulham at home, Blackburn at home, Sheffield United at home. Some really difficult games. So we need to get a manager in as soon as possible. And this is what I keep going back to the point. How come it's taken so long? There are some questions that need to be made of the board here. Why it's taken this amount of time? I can only go back to the point of they didn't want to spend in January. They have used this, then dragged this out. So they've gone, oh, well, we were focusing on the manager rather than spending money when we were desperate. Look at clubs like Bournemouth who've gone out and spent so much money. I did a video on it about how they're pretty much nailed on for promotion now. The additions they made to their squad, you look at them signing Cantwell, Kiefer Moore, and we've signed Andy Carroll. There are levels to this, and quite clearly they haven't had the backing from the board. It's not happened. Chairman hasn't put the money in, and then we've sat the manager after the January transfer window when a new manager would have had 10 days. 10 days, but the manager's been sacked. I think it was the right decision. I don't think it was working. He was tactically, I said it at the start. At the start, I really liked the way that he was managing, the fact that he was sticking to his system, and I quite like that. He's got a style, a vision, a brand of football, somewhere to move on, but it wasn't working. And I thought, okay, now this is naivety not to change things when you quite clearly see it wasn't working. It hasn't been working for so long now. Literally, it hasn't been working for so long, and we weren't scoring goals. And with the side that we had, we should have been scoring many goals because we've got very good players going forward. Dean Garner, hopefully Dean Garner, a player that can flourish under a new manager, because he didn't really treat him very well. He was subbing him off all the time. You could see he was low on confidence, and he started playing well. And he gets subbed off on the 60th minute mark. So he's one player I really hope will benefit from this sacking. In the long run, it's definitely the right decision. Tactically inept, as I've said. It's just now huge who we employ next, because there aren't many managers really on the market that scream to me that could do a job. People have mentioned Alex Neil to me in the past. Yeah, he did all right on a tight budget at Preston. It didn't work out well in the end, but he's a manager who could potentially be in with a shout. But other than that, you'll have to let me know, guys, who you think should take over. I think giving it to somebody like Chris Brunt or James Morrison, I think it's too soon. We've seen that with Darren Moore. When you give managers who are inexperienced in a big job like this with high pressure, it doesn't work out well. And we want to ease them slowly into coaching, give them more time. But yeah, let me know, guys, your thoughts on the sacking. I completely agree with it. I think it was the best decision, but I still think it's too late. We should have done this a few days ago. It doesn't make sense. But let me know, guys, your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and if you're new to the channel. But yes, thanks for watching, guys. As I said, Valerien Ismael sacked. Wow. Who'd have thought it? On the 2nd of Feb. Could this be West Brom's resurgence to get the automatics? I doubt it. Hopefully for the players, but let me know, as I've said. Thanks for watching, guys. BucketHatSam over and out. Thank you. Goodbye.